Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a review for you of this huge freaking guy right here. This is the Svord Peasant. So this is a knife that a lot of people talk about because it is a very, very simple knife. It's very simple in construction. I mean, seriously, it's two pieces of plastic, these two brass looking things here, and then a blade that kind of rotates. It's friction folded, no lock, no nothing. Look, it's a very, very basic knife, and so I picked one of these guys up, thinking I was going to be getting a small pocket-sized knife, but actually turns out that size comparison, this guy is longer closed than the Spyderco is open. If we compare it to the blade here, holy crap. That's a little bit much. Right here against your Ontario Rat number 1. See here, in terms of absolute blade, like sharpened edge, we're in the same vicinity, actually, and right here against your steel wheel cut jack in 3 inches. So, again, we're not looking at a very small knife here. But the simple fact is that I picked this guy up for 15 bucks, and for 15 bucks, it's really hard to screw things up too substantially. And so today, I'm going to give a quick little review, talking about the good and the bad of this guy and offering a final conclusion, because honestly, I'm not sure it deserves a whole go-through here. So let's go ahead and jump into the good. For me, at least, the good side of this guy is entirely the blade. This is a nice kind of high carbon-ish sort of steel, and it takes a very nice edge. As you can see here, I actually used this guy when I first got the KME as a first test bed, because it's not that expensive of a knife, and I figured if I screw it up, no huge deal. But it sharpens very, very nicely. It takes a very keen edge. It strops up beautifully. This is a very, very nice high carbon steel sort of blade. You can think about it as being similar in steel, kind of like your Mora knives carbon sort of thing, or the Open L carbon. I mean, the carbon steels absolutely are a wonderful thing for making super fine edges. And so to me, at least, that's honestly the best part of this knife, is that this blade will take a very, very keen edge. And so that's nice. And I guess the other thing I got to give credit for is the price. For 15 bucks, that's pretty impressive. And this is a fair amount of knife for 15 bucks, so to speak. So, those two things to me, and I guess maybe I can give them points for simplicity. Really, like I said, it's 2 chunks of plasticky stuff here. There is 1 brass stop pin on the inside there that you can probably see, which just stops the blade on the other side here, and then that's really about it. So that to me is at least what's good about this little guy here. And I mean, it's made in New Zealand. That's a novelty. I've never had a knife from New Zealand. Unfortunately, there is a lot of bad to this guy. And to me, at least, the biggest part of the bad is just like, what the heck am I supposed to do with this thing? This guy is absolutely huge. It is a very, very large knife, even when closed. Like I said, seriously, this is big, and so this is not really a pocket carryable knife. In fact, this is a knife that you would want to keep in a sheath, meaning something that you slide in. In fact, they even go so far as they sell sheaths for the folded knife. Okay, hold on. This is a folding knife. You have designed a folding knife that requires a sheath. Guys, really? Really, that's where you're going. And I understand that that's kind of the nature of the beast with a friction folder. I mean, you could just drop this in your pocket, but the problem is you've got this nice big lever with plenty of leverage that can pop this blade up out of the scale without a whole lot of trouble. And so that to me itself is a little bit, well, not entirely brilliant in and of itself. The other unfortunate thing, well, another unfortunate thing about this guy, there's a lot to go on, is that because the end of the friction folder bar here kind of pops up a little bit, that is always going to be pressing into your hand. I mean, you can really try your best to jam it in there, but there is a stop pin. And so, unfortunately, although the rest of the handle is pretty comfortable, you've always got this little tab sticking up here, which honestly doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I mean, okay, if you're going to put a little bit of rope in there or something like that to pull it out, that makes sense. But look, it's not like you need to grab this to close the knife. You can just pinch it shut like this because it is a friction folder. So that part of it doesn't make sense to me either. The blade itself is honestly a little bit thicker behind the edge than I anticipated, and especially at the tip here, you can see this isn't a super, the blade stock is relatively thin and the grind is high, but it's not all that aggressively ground, which, okay, I guess it makes sense if this is meant to be a folding peasant sort of knife, whatever, but and then to top it all off, the build quality on it, even for being 15 bucks, is really weird because, like, I've done a lot of trimming on this trying to remove all of the flashing from the injection molded plastic here. But it's just, like every part of this just feels like, okay, yeah, it's $15, but guys, come on. And so, for me at least, this knife, final conclusion, I suppose, is a complete and total miss. I've held on to this guy for like 8 months trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Like, am I going to actually review this? No. I mean, they do make a smaller one. Maybe the smaller one would be more compelling if you want to put a folding knife in a sheath, which, okay, whatever. Maybe that would be better, but as it is, I just deeply do not recommend this knife. I mean, it's fine, it'll cut things, and if you're looking for an inexpensive... Actually, no, I'm not going to say that, because if you're looking for a $15 folding knife, then buy... Or, I'm sorry, if you're looking for a $15 knife, then buy a freaking Mora knife fixed blade. You'll still have the sheath, but you still have the sheath. Or if you're looking for a $15 knife that's actually worth a damn, then, for carrying in a pocket, then consider the Open L, which is another traditional design of knife, but is really, really excellent. Also has a nice carbon steel. Is frankly better than this thing. So honestly, I see no reason that I would recommend this knife. It's a novelty, but that's really all I can give you. So there you go. That's my quick review of the Svord Peasant here. I mean, overall, although I like the simplicity, I guess, the overall experience to me feels very deeply unpeasant. Anyways, hope this has been interesting to you. That's $15 gone. Have yourselves a good one. Bye now.